Who in the world is Melchizedek and why is he an important figure in the Bible? Many people online perceived him to be as this weird time travel Jesus, which is not true, and I think they watched too many Marvel movies. But historically, Jewish fathers suggested that Melchizedek was none other than actually Shem, Noah's firstborn son. This identification is based on the genealogy records in Genesis 11 verses 10 through 26 and in chapter 25 verse 7. Which many of us often skip over because of our TikTok attention span. But back in the day, anyone born before the flood lived significantly longer, averaging about 500 years, and Shem fell into that category. In fact, it was said that he even outlived Abraham himself, as Abraham was born post-flood, which lifespans were typically around 100 years. It makes sense that this is Shem, since it is unlikely that anyone would boldly proclaim themselves as a priest of the Most High God without having some kind of connection to him. Noah, right? But now that we have an idea of who Melchizedek is, let's talk about why he's so significant. His name means the king of righteousness and the king of peace, Salem. Anyone who conquers Salem, which would be Jerusalem, would inherit the priesthood of the Melchizedek order. This is why in the book of Psalms, it states, "You are a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek," explaining why King David receives this divine calling after conquering Jerusalem. And more importantly, this priesthood also embodies the rights of the firstborn son, which is a central theme throughout the whole Pentateuch. This theme is evident in the continual passing down of the priesthood from father to son, just as Adam to Abel, Noah to Shem, Shem to Abraham, and followed by Abraham to Isaac, and so on and so forth. This lineage would continue until the time of the golden calf, where God had to introduce an inferior priesthood such as the Levites for disciplinary issues, which then Jesus himself will go ahead and restore the firstborn son priesthood onto everybody in the New Testament. The Apostle Paul refers to Melchizedek as a type of Christ, an eternal priesthood without beginning or end. Paul argues that the Melchizedek priesthood is superior to the Levitical priesthood, as it was the descendants of Abraham, the sons of Israel, who tithed to the Melchizedek order. In this context, giving a tithe signifies superiority. He further asserts that the Melchizedek priesthood did not require a change after him. Changes in the priesthood only occurred in the line of Aaron, indicating an imperfection in that order and thus underscoring the superiority of the Melchizedek priesthood. Finally, the most important aspect of the Melchizedek priesthood, the concept of an unbloody sacrifice. Melchizedek's offer bread and wine, elements which associate with a celebratory meal to God after a victorious campaign. It is also theorized as these offerings also symbolize a covenant bond, which is seen later in Genesis and later in the book of Joshua. Jesus follows this tradition by offering bread and wine under his body and blood during the Last Supper, and he heralds it as the new eternal covenant, a celebration in anticipation of his cross, death, and resurrection. And there you have it. That's who's Melchizedek.